Premier League football is back. Yes, today we're going to be predicting the scores for game week 1 of the 2024-2025 Premier League season after a summer of Euro 2024, the Olympics and all other sporting events. We finally get back to the football or the top tier of the English system. If you want to take Nathan and I on in the predictions, then make sure you are a member of our Superbru League. It is free to join. There's the league code on the screen, and how you join up is in the description. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it and make the first prediction.
So starting off on Friday night on Sky, 8 o'clock, we've got Manchester United against Fulham. Man United getting some signings through the door, Matthias de Ligt and also Mazraoui coming in the door as well, bolstering that squad. Obviously they didn't really have that much activity aside from that when we thought that they would. Fulham really couldn't start. They could have started a lot harder, but this is a tricky one for them to start at. Unfortunately, I can only see one team winning this, Man United, but it will be tight. So I'm going to go 2-1 to the Red Devils. Yeah, first game of the season under the lights at Old Trafford. Friday evening. Last season, this fixture actually ended up 2-1 to Fulham. So you never know. Fulham could get something out of this. Manchester United, lots of new faces. A few of them are injured. Xerxes up front coming in from Bologna will probably be spearheading that attack unless Rashford is, because Højlund is out for this fixture. For Fulham, they've got a lot of pace going forward. We know that Paulinho has gone to Bayern Munich, so that'll be a big blow for them. However, they've got Adama Traore, Wilson, Pereira, Muntz up front, who's scoring goals for fun at the tail end of last season, and of course Smith Rowe coming in from Arsenal. So tricky one to predict, but like you, Nathan, I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win to the home side. Next up, we've got the first of the Saturday fixtures kicking off at 12:30 live on TNT Sports in the UK. We've got Ipswich Town, runners-up in the Championship last season, coming up against a Liverpool side who haven't actually signed anybody yet, but we know there's a couple of plenty of time in the end of this window, and of course we got Arne Slot in charge there. But it is at Portman Road. Last season, on the opening weekend of the Premier League, none of the promoted clubs actually gained a point or a victory, and it wasn't actually until the 7th match of last season that any of the promoted teams actually won a match against any other team in the division apart from the ones who got promoted. So very difficult for Ipswich. However, I remember days gone by before last season, it'll be a packed house there at Portman Road. So you know what, Liverpool's defence a little bit iffy at the end of last season. I think there's going to be goals in this one, and with the pace that Ipswich can supply, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Yeah, I'm actually going to go 1-1 here. I think that Ipswich are going to be a banana skin to a ridiculous amount of teams this season, especially at home, and I think Liverpool are going to be the first victims here. Arne Slot's first game in charge in a bit of a transitional season, so yeah, 1-1 draw. With the Tractor Boys as well, Nathan, they've got plenty of attacking flair. Okay, Kiefer Moore has left again, gone back down to the Championship, but they got Liam Delap maybe taking over the helm there, and of course Chaplin, I think he's midfielder, scores lots of goals as well. Players. So yeah, both going for a draw. Interesting. Anyway, moving on to the first of the 3 o'clock. So we've got Arsenal up against Wolves. Arsenal need to get the ball rolling on the front foot. Galafiori coming in. You've also got Hurricane Timber, who's actually back from injury now. That's going to be like a brand new signing, because obviously he was out for most of last season. Wolves, as much as it's going to be interesting to see how they come in this season, they had a poor end to last season, and also it's Arsenal in it, so couldn't have started any harder really. So let's go 2-1. Yeah, tough task this one for Wolves in the capital. As you say, Nathan, Arsenal, the defence has been strengthened this season. Going forward, they look amazing. Maybe they're after another striker to help out the likes of Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. However, I think they'll just overrun Wolves. Wolves will probably give a good account of themselves in the first half, but I think Arsenal ultimately will come through with a 3-0 victory. Next up also
At 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, we've got Everton against Brighton. This one ended up 1-1 last season. Everton, though, bringing in a lot of players in. They have lost Onana, of course, to Aston Villa at the base of their midfield, so he'll be missed. Brighton, a little bit of transition with a lot of their players going out the door and quite a few coming in, so they'll take time to bed in. Everton at home, I think they're going to have a good season, Toffee, so it'll be a tight match, this one. Hopefully Calvert-Lewin will get back to where he was a few seasons ago, and I think the Toffees will win this one 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 here. Brighton,
to Everton,
I think,
or?
Yeah, to Everton. I think Brighton are going to have a bit of a slow start, obviously under another new manager. Everton last season at Goodison Park, Dyche's going to have them fired up. Just go for a standard 1-0 there. Anyway, moving on, Newcastle up against Southampton. Now, Newcastle, no European football, strong end to last season against a leaky Southampton defence, who, up a bit of quality and pace, is going to get ripped through. So let's go 4-1 to the Geordies there.
4-1, yeah. I'm going to go one less, Nathan. I'm going to go 3-1 to Newcastle. Okay, Wood coming in for Swansea. Can he aid that defence?
No.
Maybe not. Best friend is in charge as well at the Saints. Yeah, Newcastle, okay, personnel wise, a couple of changes, but nothing massive. So continuity there will be good. Also, no Europe this season, so they'll want to try and get back into those Champions League spots. Isaac, tail end of last season, did really well, and I think they'll take all 3 points, as I said, in a 3-1 victory to send the Magpies home happy and have a great weekend up there in the northeast. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest coming up against Bournemouth. This one's a tricky one to call, and on the opening weekends for the last 5 seasons, Bournemouth have only recorded 1 victory in those opening 5 fixtures. So Forest at home, there'll be a cracking atmosphere there on the banks of the Trent, and be tight. I'm just going to favour the home side, especially as Bournemouth now has lost Slanky. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory, but I think Bournemouth will be okay this season. Yeah,
100%. I had them pretty much pushing for Europe based on how Iraola did last year, and I know that they took the steam off the gas towards the end of it, but
they lost 3 on the bounce, didn't they?
They did at the end of last season, but they did it early, and he's a great manager. But at the end of the day, you said about their record for the first game of the season, and that's why I've got to go 1-1 draw. Anyway, moving on, 5:30 on Sky. This is a cracker to start off. West Ham with all their signings. Wan-Bissaka, Fulkrug, ridiculous, up against Aston Villa. I really don't know which way to go with this one, but as they haven't got European football just yet, they're going to start the season on the front foot. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Aston Villa.
Oh, an away victory. Yeah, you say West Ham bringing a load of players in, including Somerville, who was amazing in the Championship last season. Really excited to see Fulkrug after his exploits in the Euros. Aston Villa strengthening, looking good. I'm not sure if Ollie Watkins has actually played in any of the pre-season friendlies, so West Ham could catch them a little bit cold. Villa maybe a little bit toothless, but I doubt it with the rest of the players they've got. So a real tight one to call, this one. Neither team will want to lose. They want to get off to a positive start, these ones. We'll probably see Watkins come off the bench or something. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in London for this fixture. Next up on Sunday at 2 o'clock, we've got Brentford against Crystal Palace. Brentford that I've selected to go down this year. Crystal Palace shouldn't really miss lazy. They've got a lot going forward as well. Defensively, very, very good as well. 5 wins in their last 6 fixtures at the tail end of last season. So I think they can continue that. I'm actually going to go for an away win in this one, in this all a London affair. So I'm going Brentford 0, Palace 1.
Yeah, I can see Brentford having a really slow start to this season, to be honest. Palace, incredible form towards the end of last season under Glasner, and they're going to continue, have a great start to the season, probably be in the top 6 for a few weeks. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 to Palace. Anyway, moving on, 4:30, Chelsea against Manchester City. Chelsea signing a bajillion players, bringing in Enzo Maresca. God knows what that team's going to look like this weekend. And Man City, they're a fine-tuned engine, aren't they? Won their last 8 matches in the Premier League on the bounce. However, Chelsea, when they lose, they don't particularly get pumped, do they? They just lose by low margin. So in that case, I'm going to go 2-1 to the Citizens.
Yeah, Chelsea actually won their last 5 matches of the season, the last term. it's just, how would you pick a team from that squad?
Yeah.
Maresca's really got to pick apart that team and get the right blend, the right chemistry. I hate using that phrase, especially in real football rather than FIFA. Alvarez, who is really an understudy for Haaland, has gone, so they'll be looking to bring in probably another striker to cover for Haaland, but he's been on fire in pre-season. Had a rest over the summer as well. Looked like he enjoyed himself around the beaches of Europe too. So Chelsea is all over the place at the moment there, so I think they'll have a good season but a slow start, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Manchester City. And the final fixture of this weekend takes place on Monday night. First of Monday night football of the new season sees Leicester, newly promoted champions of the Championship, coming up against Spurs. Now got Solanke to spearhead that attack, take over from Harry Kane. They've got, Brent Johnson, Timo Werner, Son, Kulusevski. A lot of good stuff going forward. Defensively, sometimes they can be a little bit exposed. I was going to actually have Leicester scoring in this one, but up front for them, I know they got some really good wingers, but they haven't really got a potent attack in the middle of the park. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Spurs, but they may leave it late on in the second half for that victory.
Yeah, I think Spurs will overrun them in the end. Ultimately, I'm going with this one where I'm not giving Leicester a goal just because they have lost Dewsbury Hall. But I think the likes of Mavididi, Fatawu, sort of all like the quality on the wings going forward will really aid them. But Spurs are just going to cancel them out in the last few minutes, aren't they? Score a couple of goals, so let's go 2-0.
Harry Winks is back.
He is.
In the Premier League. I think he looks better in the Premier League than he does in the Championship, and he's facing his old side, so he'll want to do well. So there we have it, guys. Those are our predictions for game week 1. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. If you're not playing along on there, then make sure you leave them in the comment section, because myself and Nathan go through every single comment and either have a good laugh and go, oh, that's actually quite good. But thanks for joining us once again. Nathan, this weekend, Cardiff City away.
Yeah, we're going to get battered against Burnley, aren't we?
Burnley away on Saturday. You see a defeat for Cardiff.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully not. Maybe we'll get something. But as I said, thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you next week for game week 2.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change.